Good morning, everyone. 17 minutes past 8. Breakfast show on talkSPORT. Big weekend for Crystal Palace just gone by. And also Patrick Vieira as the Eagles managed to claim their first win of the season with quite a massive 3-0 win over Spurs. Now, Conor Gallagher shone once again for South London's side after he assisted Odsonne Edouard's late goal. It was quite good, wasn't it, Ali?
Incredible. I mean, it's a credible day all round for Palace. Substitute Edouard coming on. Gallagher again was fantastic. And Palace boss and former Arsenal captain Patrick Vieira, he was full of praise for his midfielder, and he compared Gallagher's performance to a former teammate of his.
I will say the Parlour with more ability to score goals, but he's got the same kind of energy. His work ethic, his energy, it's fantastic for the team because he drives the team. He's one of the leaders by the way he's acting on the field, and it's terrific for us because he gives us the legs, the energy to allow ourselves to put pressure higher on the field.
There you go.
Wow. What a player he is, Conor Gallagher. I better say that, Ali. Straight away.
Well, I was just going to say, he sounds like a good player.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. I don't know if he gets... To be fair, I'm just looking at the stats now. He got booked on Saturday, so he's a little bit like me. I'll definitely get booked against Spurs, I should imagine. But yeah, no, I've watched him a few times, and obviously we saw him last year on loan, and I watched him against Brentford, and he nearly scored against Brentford. Obviously, the game against West Ham, he was excellent, the second goal. So he's got a big future in front of him, and I'm really pleased he's got his chance now in the Premier League to shine. And he certainly has. He started his Palace career very, very well. But I'm really pleased with Patrick, not because it's against Spurs. I want just to say it because I wanted to get his first win. I was at Brentford game, and one thing we were talking about supporters, Ali, and you could say about Everton last night. You know, they do get behind the side.
Oh, brilliant!
Their record's unbelievable when there was no fans in there. I think they only won one game, Everton, and I think Palace is very similar. I think Palace, once they get going, I mean, I was at the Brentford game and they certainly played their part.
Yep.
I know it was a 0-0 draw in the end, but I should imagine that it was absolutely rocking in Selhurst Park, and really pleased for Patrick because I really want him to do well in England. He knows England very well, obviously. He had a great career at Arsenal, but management is totally different, and it was a big result for Palace.
Some start
because
for Edouard
obviously
as well,
Spurs have had a great start, haven't they? And it was always going to be a tricky game. And Edouard, as you might mentioned, what a great start for him. 2 goals, and I think he'd do really well in the Premier League. Edouard, I think he's a goal scorer. Alan always said it, obviously because Celtic a connection. I know you've seen him a lot, Ali, as well.
Absolutely.
So he could be, and they made some good signings, Palace. So I think Patrick. Everybody thought there might be in a relegation battle, but that was a big result from at the weekend. Now they've got to continue on that and try and get a few more good results. And I think Selhurst Park is going to be very important. They're not in a relegation battle at the end of the season.
Have you spoken to Patrick since he's taken the job?
No, I haven't. No, I tried to get down to see him against Brentford when I was at the stadium, but with all the COVID stuff, you can't really go nowhere near the dressing rooms, because I was at the Arsenal, couldn't go nowhere near the dressing rooms. Obviously, the players have got to be well protected. So but I just wish him all the best. He's got that fighting spirit, and he's got that leadership qualities. And I just hope the players can. Well, I'm sure they will look up to him for what he's achieved in his career. And if he's giving you advice, especially obviously Conor Gallagher. I mean, if you can get your advice of someone in a similar sort of position as you, midfield, who's won World Cups and won championships and FA Cups, then I'm sure it'd be a big inspiration on his career going forward.
Yeah. What was your relationship like with Patrick?
Great. Patrick's brilliant. It was a bit miserable first time he turned up, because it is difficult for foreign guys coming into a different dressing room, and I think his girlfriend was in France, so he was a bit lovesick. I can put it down to that. And I used to say to him, "Come on, Patrick, liven up. You're in London now. You have you can have a much better time." And he split up with his girlfriend Ali, and then he met a girl in London who I think he's still married to today.
So he took your advice.
And after that, he loved London. Oh, it's a great place. It's brilliant. And he turned around overnight when he met his new girlfriend in London. But he was a great lad. As I said before, when Tony Adams left the club in 2002, you're thinking, who's going to be the captain now? And Patrick was a perfect person to step into Tony's his shoes and be the captain of the club. And he was everybody looked up to Patrick. So it was quite funny though, because every single summer during pre-season, you'd always see him linked to every single club, Juventus and certain clubs. And when we used to come into training, he used to turn up. And we all look at him and say, "Are you still here, Patrick? We can't wait for you to leave." And he'll laugh, and so he had a really good sense of humour as well. I think he loved all the banter with all the British guys, and I don't think the French guys really knew because it was very much more professional where they come from. I think, when Patrick come over, he couldn't believe how much mucking about we used to do. But it was never when we were working hard in training, you do your jobs, but after training, come and go in the canteen and have a lunch together. And we got each other's personalities much better then. So I think he embraced that. And I think he really enjoyed his time in London.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.